And now, Sierra Leone is among a few countries in Africa free from coronavirus. The West African country suffered heavily from an Ebola outbreak in 2014. Now, in an effort to prevent coronavirus, President Dr. Julius Maada Bio declared a state of public health emergency. The 12-month state of emergency started on Tuesday, 24th of March.
In his diary, President Julius Maada Bio addressed the nation. In his speech, he reaffirmed and he restated the government's determination to do everything in its power to protect the lives of the citizens. And the president says he's prepared to deploy the army and police if necessary in the event of non-compliance with his restrictive measures. Sierra Leone has lived through a terrible episode in its history due to its epidemic that killed more than 11,000 people in less than 2 years, and rather than being reactive, the president has chosen to be proactive.
Absolutely, Ruth. Our correspondent Eric Kawa now joins us from Freetown. Eric, a warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining us. It's great news that Sierra Leone is free from coronavirus, but we see that the government is being proactive and they're taking no chances.
Yes, good morning. Of course, definitely the government has taken certain measures in place, and considering the fact that it is a pandemic, and so the government last week placed a ban on religious gatherings and social gatherings, and also schools and other learning institutions are expected to close down around the 31st of March. Again, it is important to note that a state of emergency has been declared for 12 months starting on the 24th of March. However, though, there are people who do not support the move, saying that the 12 months was too much, especially given into consideration that the country has not recorded yet a single case of the coronavirus. However, though, it is a constitutional right given to the president under Section 29 of the Sierra Leone's Constitution, subsection 1, which gives him the authority to declare a state of emergency in situations like this, which has to do with health emergency, public safety, and other issues that will affect the country. And also, flights have also been grounded from entering Sierra Leone, except for some emergency situations. It is also important to note that many individuals are also working towards abiding towards these rules, though others do not support that as well.
Eric, your country suffered from the Ebola epidemic. We can say that it now has experience to fight against a pandemic of this magnitude, doesn't it?
So it is worthy to note that Sierra Leone's health system was devastated and weakened during the Ebola outbreak, being that the country lost many doctors to the fight. However, though, again, many citizens had experiences with the fighting the Ebola outbreak, and it has to do with hand washing, which many citizens did practice during the Ebola outbreak, and also social distancing was also something which we practiced here. So people are still working on the same drive, ensuring that they wash their hands, at the same time use hand sanitizers and do all those stuffs which were done. But however, if Sierra Leone is to record any case, which we're not praying for, it will be challenging because the health system is very, very poor, and it will be a very huge challenge towards fighting that. So meanwhile, Sierra Leone remains at 0, and more measures have been put in place by the government.
Indeed, Eric. And to come back to this, how are Sierra Leoneans reacting? Are they observing the many measures with washing of hands and the likes?
Okay, so I would say not entirely. However, though, there are people who, as I mentioned about the hand washing, some will be washing their hands, and many, of course, you can go to shops, you can go to business centers, and you see water in which citizens or people are expected to wash their hands before going to those places. And also, you can find out that people now have also adopted using hand sanitizers. And when you go to public vehicles, there have been a law in which they used to carry like 3 for tricycles, which we call here keke. They used to take 3 passengers. Now they do take 2 passengers. And other vehicles that used to take 4 passengers, there's been a reduction of 1 passenger. So that is one thing that they did. And social distancing is also being practiced. People are now moving away from other individuals. And I can tell you, everybody is a suspect. So people even would have to move around some other people. They will not want to associate or mingle with other people. However, though, some see as familiarity as another issue, which no matter the circumstance, they will not do away from washing hands. They will not do away from interacting and socializing. So it is, however, been expected that those people work with certain rules for now, because it is just on temporary basis to be avoiding the handshakes, the social gatherings, and there have been a lot of changes, like even for the prayers, like the ban on religious gatherings, like going to Friday prayers and on Sunday going to the church. You see that people now pray at home for the 5 daily prayers for the Muslims, and even the Christians also observe the services at home. So there's been a change in that. However, though, it is expected that the situation is being tackled as soon as possible, and meanwhile, Sierra Leone remains at 0.
And I like how you keep saying Sierra Leone remains at 0 there. Good news it is, especially at this time when it's all gloomy with several cases around the world. Erica, this is how much we can take, though. I'd like to thank you for sharing with us the latest from Sierra Leone. Thank you very much. Africanews Correspondent Eric Kawa speaking to us there from Freetown. Freetown, the capital of Sierra Leone. Now, if you're just joining us, you're watching the Morning Call coming to you live here on African News. So we are reaching you live also on our website, africanews.com, where you can watch us in English and in French. Still to come on the program. There's still no new dates for the Tokyo Olympics after the world's biggest sporting games got postponed to 2021 over the novel coronavirus outbreak. But organizers are already counting losses to the tune of $2.7 billion. Plus, talking about what big brothers do, German clubs Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, RB Leipzig and Bayern Leverkusen to help the less fortunate clubs facing financial difficulty in Germany. The amount, 20 million euros. All of this plus much more after the break. Ruth and I will be right back. Stay with us.